Good afternoon everybody and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Ollie and today we're going to be running through automated purchasing in the system. So if you've got any questions during or after the session, please do use our live chat service and Mike will be on hand to help today. Okay, so automated purchasing then. So what is it? So in Prima what you can basically do is at supplier level, at company level, various different levels you can basically set up how the system will automatically purchase electronically from a supplier. So if I just switch over to the key talking points image for today, you'll be able to see exactly how that would work in a sense. So items arrive in your purchasing requirements as normal, so you'd authorise your sales orders with your lines on and your sales order lines. That would then arrive into POP requirements, and the system via the EDC that's running on your server or wherever it may be will then purchase automatically depending on what's been set in the administration area and also the company level. So there's a bit of setup to get it right, so obviously the setup is really important, which we'll cover today, and how you can apply that to your business. So again, different sizes of business will vary on how you'd have this set up. So some people may want it set up for every supplier, every delivery type, every single customer, regardless of stock, regardless of anything else. You can basically have that set up in the system, and that then would do your purchasing for you. So effectively what you could have is Prima doing your purchasing. As long as you're happy with your terms with your supplier, different factors, the system can do those tasks that effectively highlighting and purchasing when you're confident with everything else doesn't really need to be done because the system can take care of that for you. Okay, so as I've put just there at the bottom of the key talking points image, you can also select which companies and locations are set for auto purchase to. So if, for example, it was Vow or it was Spices or Exertis, whoever it may be, you can set those up, so it can be specific suppliers, and you can also set up specific delivery types as well. So I'll show you through how to do that now. So basically, in the administration area of Prima, so you'd open your Prima Cloud login box, change the application to administration, and then sign in. Once you're signed into the area, you've then got this automation section. So once that's on here, so automation on the left hand side, and then you've got the section here for auto purchase setup. So in here at the moment I've got one entry set up on this test database. So to add a new one, what you would do is add auto purchase entry, and that then gives you the option then to add a new one or save to the existing one and make changes. So as you can see, you've got the option for a supplier. So the supplier set up in your database will then be visible in here. So as an example, this one is Vow. You can then select a delivery type. So again, if you don't want it to be for your standard deliveries, you just want it just for direct, the system to take care of, which is a popular kind of choice, you can say actually just Vow's directs are going to be done automatically. So rather than having to go into POP requirements, highlight, purchase and send through electronically, if you're doing that and not having to change anything, then effectively the system can do that for you. So again, yeah, check your delivery type, pick the one you're wanting to use, and then also select whether it's enabled to auto purchase. You have then got two options here at the bottom, just kind of options in terms of whether you want it to check stock before it sends it through. So this one is set to no, so it doesn't matter if anything's on back order, and also whether it allows multiple suppliers. So if you've got a sales order with 10 items on, 5 are for Vow, 5 are for Exertis or Spice, whoever it may be, that then would allow you to purchase those 5 lines from there because it's got multiple suppliers on that order. So you come into here, set up your suppliers. So again, if you want to create a new one, hit new, select your supplier, enter your filters, save that in, and then the system's then set up for that supplier for automatic purchasing. So that's the first layer of it as such, and then what you would need to do is set it at a company level. So if I just go into Prima Cloud, so I've got that open already, into your company area, into a company in question which I've already preloaded, and then in your company details what you can do is in the customer tab here, and at the bottom you've got a tick option for auto purchase. So if that was ticked, so if I tick that now and save it, then this company is enabled for automatic purchasing. So that's the first kind of setting for it, but then what you can do is set it by location as well. So with this company here, if they've got a location in Glasgow, they've got one in London, what you can effectively do is set up automatic purchasing for the Glasgow one because it's got to be direct all the time rather than the standard delivery of London. So you can have those types of settings set as well. So automatic purchasing ticked in the customer tab of the company record, so decide on who that's going to be. And then what you can do is when you go to the main tab and open your location, so again I've got that preloaded already, you've then got the option against the location to add in auto purchase here, so that's ticked by default. So if this is ticked already and you've not got anything set up in the admin, then it won't actually do anything. So as we've set something up now and this is ticked, then effectively next time I place a purchase order for VOW, sales order rather, sorry, for VOW for pit wrap and label, the system would be able to automatically purchase that order for me. Another tip as well that you can do, again coming back to the types of locations, so if one is in Glasgow, one is in London, and you've got 2 different accounts for VOW, 2 different accounts for spices, or 3 or 4, whatever it may be, and you want to exclude those accounts from effectively being purchased for this location, you can set up those exclusions there. So this customer here, I want to exclude the Spices London, but include the Spices Glasgow, so you wouldn't add that into this section. So then when you're doing your purchasing, making sure that setup is correct for the customer and no orders are going through to the wrong supplier account. Okay, so that's a setup in here. So auto purchase against location level and also company, but just a tip is you can set up further as well in terms of excluding certain suppliers against the locations for the likes of direct deliveries and stuff as well. Okay, so closing out of there then, so how it would work in the system, so if I just close out them 2 sections, is I've put a sales order on already and authorised it earlier today, so that then would arrive in POP and requirements, and if I just search specifically for that customer just to show you a live example, so KPMG, so this order here that I placed was when I had the tick options of auto purchase set and against the company and location, and this one was one I did earlier without the auto purchase being enabled. So you can see there, this column is highlighting to me which lines are going to be purchased automatically. So the reason they've not been purchased automatically already is because on this test database the EDC is not running. So what you need to have in place is the EDC running, or otherwise known as the EDI, and that would then effectively do the shopping. So if I authorise and create a new order now, authorise that through for VOW for a pit wrap and label, browse into requirements like it has here, and then from there then the EDC would look at that and say, right, okay, these 2 lines, mark as auto purchase, build a purchase order electronically and send that through. So a really efficient way of not even having to touch the kind of requirement section for those lines. So the system can take care of different delivery types, different suppliers, or you can also make the full process, every single supplier, every delivery type, which some customers have done. So again, process automation, levels of automation is great for businesses, but it's just applying that to your model. So if you do want to discuss it further, of course, drop me an email or give me a call and we can look into how it would work for your business. So as an example, direct deliveries to certain locations is a really popular one. So effectively setting that up in the database correct for you as a business, you're then taking away the admin task. So cost to serve and all that sort of thing is basically done by the system, so you don't have to worry about having to come into requirements to do the same thing over and over. The system's doing it for you. Okay, so another thing to note as well on the auto purchasing, so if your account's on hold with a supplier or something's gone wrong and it's bounced back into this requirement section, you have got, if I scroll across the right hand side, you can rearrange these columns of course in the system, so you can pull this across the left hand side, but you've got this one here for EDI count, so it doesn't just apply to automatic purchasing, applies for manual purchasing as well. If it's been rejected electronically and the lines arrive back into requirements, that's basically saying there it's been rejected once, so that'd be a number 1. If you try and purchase it again, number 2. So if the system's getting stuck in a loop and trying to send it through to VOW every couple of minutes because your account's on hold or something, then this EDI account would basically signal how many times it's been rejected electronically. So that's just something to note as well. But yeah, effectively the automatic purchasing can be as simple as you want it to, or it can be kind of as precise in terms of drilling down to locations, excluding suppliers from that. So it is a massive kind of setup thing to get right, because obviously it's really important to get that right, but the kind of the rewards it can do for all of our Prima customers is really great. So if you do want to discuss it further, please feel free to contact me, but yeah, that's effectively everything that I wanted to cover in today's session. If you do have any questions, myself and Mike will be hanging around on the live chat for a short while afterwards, but yeah, have a great weekend and we'll see you next week.